Hello Sagittarius friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Sagittarius May 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I am so excited about this month. We're getting clear of that heavy energy of the eclipses. We're in the time that we've been waiting for 9 months. A time free of personal planet retrogrades and their shadow periods, which means that the tides are going out. It's ready to have all of your big decisions and your big plans and your forward movement to blaze forward in amazing ways. May 17th is the magical day that the post-retrograde shadow period of Venus, which had gone direct in April, is clear. But even in the earlier part of the month, it's really, such a light little hangover of Venus retrograde. It is still present, but for the second half of the month and all of June, we're wide open. Those tides are blazing out. And you can put your ships out to sea and have them go as far and wide as you would like. And we know Saggies love to do that. This is for you if Sagittarius is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Sag placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. It's also part of my astrological picture because I'm a Saggie too. If you're a late degree Saggie friend like me, birthdays like December 15th through the rest of the sign, or Sag degrees, 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Cap report because your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so I'm calling the theme of this month, our Jupiter ruler is about to go direct and see where that luck is going next, but there's so much more to talk about than that. All right, so we are going to get to that, but I want to talk about some of the shorter term things first. And again, there's a ton to celebrate there. Because of Venus's retrograde process, it's putting it in our fellow fire sign Aries for an extended period of time, which is really, really good for Sagittarius. Money and love and romance and sustenance and, all of those good Venus-related things have been working in this trine for most of it ducked back into Pisces for a little while, but certainly now for all of May, it will zip through. Between May and into June, it will zip through all of the fire placements of Aries, which means that everyone in Sagittarius will get a direct kiss of 120-degree angle from Venus. Okay, so Mercury is still in Aries. Of course, we have these longer-term planets. Chiron and Eris have been there for a long time. They're going to be there for a while. But we've got new news. Neptune has now entered fire sign Aries. Whew, thank goodness, right? It has been dogging us in that water sign, squaring us for 14 years. And now it's in a fire sign where it will spend the next 14 years in a sweet angle for us. So yay. I'm not going to go into too much of this now because I actually have a whole separate video and podcast on this. Just look for Annie Botticelli, Neptune in Aries. I give a full report on the general potentials of this transit, and it is long. And I also do a time-stamped summary at the end. Okay, so I'm not going to cover it now, but I just want to tell you it's joining this fire party in a very long-term, exciting way, activating our house of leadership and hobbies and fun and true love and romance and children and creativity. So in the short term and the long term, we're having those energies exhilaratingly, blissfully expanded for us. This is a month of action, and Saggies do not like to be stagnant. So if you've had areas of your life that have just been going inwards and backwards and you're done with it already, then you may actually be done with it already, okay? So I couldn't be happier to report that to you. All right, so that's going to be going on. Expect a massive amount of forward movement, regardless of if you use it to do that. It'll just be happening around you. The new normal from whatever changes in the eclipse cycles that occurred. We had the eclipses in March, very heavy still in April, still getting news in May, but a new sort of integration is occurring from that. The vast majority of the aspects are connections between planets that we have this month are supremely positive. It's highly unusual. We've got 5 times as many sweet aspects this month compared to the salty ones. Okay, so you can go to anniehelpsyou.com to get my full sweet and salty report. When you put your name and email address in there, get the welcome letter, go to the archive link, put May 2025 astrology, and you'll get my favorite dates. You'll get all the aspect dates, my favorite dates, the ones to be aware,fully careful of, the ones that can go either way. But I can tell you now as a general summary, there are only a couple of dicey ones. And there are a lot of great ones, including, while we're on the topic of Aries, Chiron, the wounded healer. It's usually a pain. right? Literally, is making a sextile with Jupiter. That's actually been happening April. It will go into all of June. May is the hot spot when it's the most notable. May 18th is the official day when it happens, but these are outer planets. So they spend, for better or worse, whatever configuration they're in this case for better, they're there for a long time. So this is giving us a chance for a massive amount of healing of things that have been in our lives for a long time. Relationship karma clearing up, health karma clearing up, identity karma clearing up, and just really opening the way for more creativity. You may find yourself, even in, April, May, June, and beyond, really starting to get in touch with your creative side from an artistic standpoint, and really starting to take the time for, the things that you might not have been able to do before. Maybe you have learned something different, but many parents have taught their kids that you can't make money making art. And I think that that's changing, profoundly changing. And you may find that you are returning to artistic things that were not, quote, practical in the past, that couldn't pay the bills in the past. And you may be able to do these things just for the sheer enjoyment of them. And you may turn out monetizing them. So, this is a really good time. And speaking of which, if you want to start a business, if you want to start an Etsy account, if you want to, start your little making of things into something bigger, you couldn't have the better launch dates now. I mean, like I said, I like the second half of May and all of June the best because, Venus in its shadow period, it's going to be very diluted. But if you want something to last a long time, then, the later part of the month is better. If you're doing something that you don't mind is short term, it's very casual, you're not dependent on it, you don't really care how long it lasts, then the whole month is full of great opportunities. And hey, those dates around May 18th, with that beautiful sextile between Jupiter and Chiron, not a bad time to launch something. Okay, so Aries energy. Right. Okay. So we also have the sun in Taurus. Then, Venus will be moving towards there. Mercury will be moving towards there. All of this energy is grounding, which we really need because of all this fire energy. It's going to be helpful to help us make practical and tangible steps with all of this inspiration that we have and some dedication and some consistency. This is the house of health and animals. So you may find that you're spending a lot of time with your animals. If you're trying to give an animal forever home, the energy is great for that this month. There's especially long-term energy, the second half of the month and all of June. But if you find your forever friend in the earlier part, as long as you have the money to take care of that animal, the Venus, retrograde shadow shouldn't bother that situation too much. So you might be getting to a new level of your health plan, your health system, finding good practitioners, getting into good habits, and really upgrading and changing and enlivening your daily experience. You may notice that a routine that you've had for a while, you may start to have a new routine or new elements of that routine rolling in soon as the month progresses. Okay, also in the shorter term, before we get to some of this longer term energy with Jupiter, our ruler changing signs, I want to talk about Mars. Mars in Leo, fire sign, so exciting, making a grand trine between Sag placements, all the Aries energy, and this Leo energy. So this is just a fire frenzy of exhilarating, exciting, productive, inspiring energy. Very, very active, very, very much, in motion, which Saggies love. And specifically, Mars is accentuating our ninth house of teaching, learning. It may be time for you to launch your school or to teach. This is a great time for that. It may be time for you to find your perfect education program, like my beastropro.com, beastropro.com. If you want to learn astrology with me or something else that you want to learn, this is a fantastic time for taking on higher education of some sort because the ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. And for Saggies, there's the layer of Leo over that ninth house, and Mars, which is our border collie of the zodiac, as I like to call them, is adding that oomph there. So my little saying is, wherever Mars goes, obsession flows, and it really does. So you may find you go on a bender, an education bender or a creating curriculum bender. This also can have to do with learning languages or traveling internationally. You may find that you're either traveling internationally or you're setting up a trip for the future, getting ready to travel internationally with this energy. Okay, so it's very vibrant, it's very exciting, and it's in a very good placement for Sagittarius. Okay, so let's talk about our ruler changing signs. This is a big deal. Jupiter changes signs about every year. We've had Jupiter in Gemini since last May of 2024. It will change in June, but for all intents and purposes, you will feel this energy shifting now. Jupiter knows no bounds, and it doesn't limit its expansion and movement to the moment that it changes signs, if that makes sense, okay? So that's why I'm talking about this month, because even like March, April, May, you will notice the things I'm going to describe with Jupiter going into the 8th house may already be happening. I usually see 3 months before the actual change, a lot of information and experiences of where Jupiter is going start rolling in while it's still here. So over this last year, you may have enjoyed a return back to some writing projects, fine-tuning your communication, fine-tuning things having to do with a lot of your relatives, expanding of your social world. You may notice that you have more social interactions and know more people and are involved in more, social groups than you were a year ago. You may have had your romantic or business relationships expand. And we still have that going on in May. If you're looking for a perfect person to help you with your business or home, Jupiter's still hanging on in here to help you out, and it's only going to be another year of continued expansion into your relationship space, except now it's going to bring a deeper dive into some of those relationships. And the 8th house rules, okay, so remember Jupiter rules luck and benevolence, and the 8th house rules other people's money. So the odds of you benefiting from other people's money are tremendously expanded right now. Scholarships, grants, things having to do with taxes, credit card, loans. If you want to buy a house and you need a loan, if you need to get out of debt, Jupiter can also expand your debt, but it could be good debt, like the debt that brings you the stability of a house or something where it expands your business. There is such a thing as good debt and bad debt if you have to take it on, and you may be playing in those arenas. You also may notice that other people's money, like family or spouse, they may just be dumping things in your lap. Here, have this, whatever it is. Here, have this, whatever it is. And you may have actually seen a lot of this last year as well, getting things from other people. And I'm not saying that you should try to be, I take that back. You should try to be. In a good way, because this is your time to get a break. Saggies that have just been spinning your wheels, doing so much, doing things on your own. This is a time where you should actually be trying to get things from people in a way that feels good to you, in a way that feels empowered, in a way that feels, accepting of what someone wants to do for you. Inheritances may come into play. All of that kind of thing. Finding money on the street, winning things, winning sweepstakes, winning lotto, all of that we're stepping into, and it's happening now. It's happening in May because it's in both places at the same time. Okay. So you may find that you're diving deeper into the mysteries or the world of psychology. You may find that you're going deeper into certain of your relationships, including your relationship with yourself and understanding your psychological motivations or other people's. You may find that you want to study something along those lines. So all of that is happening. Also, for the next 20 years, we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is a nice angle for Sag. So your way of writing or communicating or creating, you have your own personal atomic power generator with Pluto here in your Gemini house of expression. All right. So, if you have something to say, you're going to have a lot of support in saying it. If you need money or emotional resources or something like that, that can help you. This 8th house can help you. And, it's just really an overall, energetically, a great time to be a Sagittarius. We are about to be stepping into a crossroads, and you will notice that energy starting up as well. Something you might not be hearing about as much is that Uranus in July is going to go into Gemini. It's very unusual for outer planets to change signs, but between last year and now, we have Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, all changing signs. So it's a time of very, very active change. And when Uranus changes into Gemini, and like I said, you will really actually have been feeling this already. A lot of erratic changes within your relationships, but you might also see the positive end of Uranus, which is very intelligent, very worldly, very forward thinking, very eccentric. People are coming into your circle and expanding your world and the way that you see things, but there is a little bit of instability here. So you may notice that this is starting to come up where someone might be becoming unstable around you. But this is putting you at a crossroads where basically you're going to have a chance to find more stability within you. So it won't be as, your happiness and peace won't be as dependent on what other people do or don't do. This building of this flow. And Sag just love to be in the flow, right? I mean, just if you can wake up and spend some time in timelessness, it's really magical. So you're going to have a chance with this Uranus transit to really start developing, that part of yourself that is less thrown off when other people do or don't do things. So many more things I could talk about, but I'm going to cap it here and send you to AnnieHelpsYou.com. Get my sweet and salty report by putting your name and email address in. If you want personalized reports, including where all the outer planets are in general and for you personally in your chart and what you can expect from that, go to AnnieBClarity.com, Annie, the letter B, Clarity.com, and get my outer planet transit report. I also have a Clear Karma and Live in Your Highest Expression personalized report. If part of these expansive learning energies have to do with astrology, I'm your girl. I have a very organized curriculum. I'm multilingual and I approach astrology as a language. So I build it from the ground up as you would academic. I've learned at least 2 languages academically, and I build this program like you would learn another language academically, where it builds upon the layers of foundations, and then you just continue expanding from there. So you can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com, and learn astrology with me. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.